It's been a little bit since I've talked about beast hunters. It's about time that I change that. I have been teasing my video on this wacky, insane toy for quite some time, and here it is. This is our throwback for Transformers Prime Beast Hunters, Sharkticon Megatron. This figure is insane. It's literally insane. And I love it. So they retooled the original Transformers Prime Voyager Megatron, and they entirely reinvented him. And this was not in the show. This absolutely a trillion mega % was not a thing. It's kind of interesting, you know, they had the kind of opportunity to make a, you know, Unicron Megatron, or they never wanted to call him Galvatron. It was Galvatron, clearly, from Predacons Rising. They never made that, no. Instead, we got this. And whoever designed this, whoever maniac at Hasbro or Takara, whoever redid this Megatron, I absolutely salute you, because this is what I absolutely freaking love about Transformers collecting. Sure, you could just go and get, you know, oh, here's my APC Toys Megatron and my APC Toys Optimus, or it could be like, here's my wacky shelf of Beast Hunters wackos, and that's how I am. So this is the leader of the Beast Hunters Decepticons, and this is wild. He looks like a beast himself. This is the biggest transformation any character ever got in the Beast Hunters line. You can see his arms are new, his shoulder pads are new, his chest is new, his head is new, his legs are new. Pretty much the only things that are really recycled are super basic bits, you know, like his biceps and his hips, stuff like that. Even his head covering, he has this head covering piece now. That's new. His little wings back here are still the same. But still, he's got these cool little wings, and they didn't really work too great on the original one. But the wings on this Sharkticon version, I feel like you have a lot more freedom with how you want to position them, and it makes it look so cool. The articulation is pretty much the same from the original Megatron. It's still not that good, and this has always kind of been a very odd figure for me to handle. I've never felt super comfortable posing this guy. He does have a nice ball joint at the head that gives you some nice wiggle waggle, but turning side to side is going to be limited just because of the massive shape of his big old Transformers Prime helmet. His shoulders don't really move out too far, and they do move forward, obviously. He's never had a bicep swivel, but he does have an elbow bend and a forearm swivel. And he has a wrist hinge for transformation. There's his weapon. That's a very interesting weapon. We will talk about that. Nothing at the waist, but he does have ball joints at the hips. And they're oddly, like, kind of detented. They want to, like, default to being straight. I don't know if you can see that. They want to, like, thwoop into place. Thigh swivel, very nice knee bend. Then his toes, you can kind of move around. So the articulation is pretty standard for a Transformers Prime figure of the era, but it's just not the most posable. It's so weird, dude. I can't wait anymore. We got to get in close. We got to look at the details. If you have never seen this figure before, you are probably looking at this thinking, what the hell am I looking at? And yeah, I mean, look at the chest. That looks so Sharkticon-y. You can see the teeth, the eyes. That chest is insane. The head, too, is super cool. His helmet has been all Sharkticoned out. He still has his big Transformers Prime eyebrows, but they've gotten even bigger. His teeth are kind of darkened out, which is very menacing, and he's got this bright blue face. His shoulder armor has like this little hint of purple, and it's got these little fin pieces, and it's all jointed, and it's so crazy. The arms have these massive fins, and this nice blue, like the blues and the purples, and this, I can hardly even describe the main body color. You can see it does have that pearlescent plastic, which is very awesome to see. It's just wild, dude. There's even, like, so many different splashes of design and color. The green for the eyes. This design is all over the place. But I love it. The weapon, too, is super cool. So his fusion cannon has gotten a bit of an upgrade, as you can see. It's still a fusion cannon, obviously. You can see, you know, it's gonna pew-pew. But it has a face on it now, which is very fascinating, because it almost makes it like its own character. So this is almost like its own character now, which is very odd. But this transforms. This actually can turn into a bladed weapon. You can't have him hold it. I'm not going to put this weapon in his hand, because this is actually sort of my second Sharkticon Megatron, because the thumbs broke. And I'm not going to put this in his hand. I don't want to risk that. I actually found one, I believe, at the thrift store. And it was pretty much just his limbs, and I was able to use that to replace the hands. I don't want to put this in the hands, but if you get this figure, if you feel more ambitious or feel more comfortable with your copy, it's perfectly fine. But how we transform this, we take this blade, we move it up, and we can see it like triggers this little thing sticking out, and it moves that blade. That's kind of cool, you know, it can be like just a slashing action or something, but we can take the handle, and we can hinge it down, and it's going to clasp in right there, and it's going to hold it in place. And now you have this big old, like, double-edged sword. You can make them hold it, again, if you feel comfortable. And that looks amazing. You can still mount this on the arm, even though since that has changed the position, you want to, like, reposition it. And it's a little awkward with that big fin right there. But you can still have this on his arm. And it looks actually really cool, mounted to his arm like that. That is a very cool weapon. So let's go ahead and transform this guy, because I'm very curious to see this alt mode. I've not seen this alt mode for a long time. And before I do this, I do need to say there is a fan mode to make this look a little bit more like a G1 Sharkticon. I don't really care to do that, but basically you make him look more squat like this. And you're basically gonna like make that his face, and you're gonna hide the head. You can figure out how that's gonna look. You can Google it if you want. I personally don't care, but it is neat. You can kind of fan mode him into a more G1-esque Sharkticon. All right, let's transform him into his weird jet mode that is now somehow a shark. Man, I haven't transformed this mold in a little bit. So the chest still needs to split, right? Yeah, there we go. So the chest splits, and you can actually see the original chest underneath. That's where the Decepticon symbol was. I didn't even point out yet. I'll point it out in the vehicle mode. They changed his Decepticon symbol. I'm sure if you were eagle-eyed enough, you probably noticed that. But yeah, they changed the symbol, and that's just so wild to me. This reconnects up front right there now. The arms, I'm trying to think about what the arms do. This will move up and encompass the head once more, but I gotta position the arms. I know these are going to be there now. Man, it's just been so long since I've transformed this mold. Especially this exact copy, my Sharkticon version. I have not transformed this thing in years. I don't know why, I just never felt like it. I never felt like getting this guy off the shelf to transform him. Whenever I got him off the shelf, I just like looked at it and I'm like, this thing's a freak. That's what I did. Okay, so the arms tuck in the back. They do all the tab-me-doos. Those slot in together. That all tabs in just like that. And then those fins will be in the back now, which I think looks pretty cool. Alright, and then this will wrap around the head once more. But now we have this head covering. So his Sharkticon Megatron head will no longer be poking out, because now we have this thing to cover it, which is very interesting. I know some people might be like, oh no, I love the whole exposed head for Megatron, but I'm sure some people are like, thank God. Alright, one of the last things we have to do is with the legs. The legs will form the wings slash flippers slash whatever you want to consider them. Alright, I'm trying to think about how this works. Does it have, yeah, it still has a little flip out me do. Alright, we're getting there. We're making, you know that progress? Yeah, we're making it. We're making it. Man, this thing's just so weird. I love it, though. I will forever love it. I don't think there will ever come a time where I will no longer want this in my collection. Okay, so the feet, I know they go there. I'm just trying to remember how this hinges, because I know it's kind of very particular. Alright, so that tabs in right there. There we go. Progress is being made, guys. We're making it. Man, this is such a fun figure. I love this wacky design. It's just so out there, dude. I wish they would do more stuff like this. Give us more wacky versions of the characters instead of just remaking the same things over and over. All right, I think we're pretty much good. We can position the shoulder pads to be a little bit more straight. Here is Sharkticon Megatron in his absolutely insano Cybertronian jet shark creature mode. This is wild, dude. It has the face in the front with the massive maw. Like, you could consider this a beast if you want. You definitely could. It's got, you know, these spiky wing things. It's got the fins in the back. Look at how insane the Decepticon symbol has become. The Decepticon symbol has a massive maw. That's nuts. That is insane. I think this is the only use we have ever seen of this iteration of the Decepticon symbol. I don't even know what you call that. Is that the Sharkticon symbol? Like, that's nuts looking. I've never seen that anywhere else but on this figure. If it does exist anywhere else, I'm sorry. I don't know every facet of Transformers. But that is nuts, dude. So crazy. This figure is just so crazy. But I love it. We can take this and we can plug it up there if we want. Kind of is a little off to the side. We can plug it there if we want. Where else can it go? That's kind of it. Maybe you could tuck it down there if you're so inclined, but I'm not. I think the best place, given how long the handle is, I think it works pretty good right there. I think that looks pretty decent. I don't know about you, but I like that. I think that looks nice. Alrighty, guys. Here he is. Here is Sharkticon Megatron. He will look very proud and amazing leading my Beast Hunters Decepticons. No longer will he be on my Megatron shelf. He will be leading his wacky Decepticons. And I personally cannot wait to see it. It's going to happen. Once I finish talking about all the Beast Hunters figures, I'm going to have a big overview video with all of these wackos on the desk. But we haven't even talked about the beasts yet. I need to talk about those here soon. That's very exciting. But yeah, let me know what you think about this wacko. I love him. It's one of the most iconic toys of all time, in my opinion. One of the most iconic Megatrons. This design did get one other figure. It's very odd, because it got like a very cheap, almost vinyl, like 5 POA. I think it was just 4 POA, actually, where like swiveled at the waist, to the shoulders, and the head. It was around, you know, the time of Beast Hunters when they came out. They did Sharkticon Megatron. I think they might have done Optimus, and they did Bumblebee and Shockwave as well. Very odd. But this figure is very odd. Alrighty, I've rambled on long enough. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments below. I think it's insane, and I love it. A special shout out to channel members, as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.